Hello, BookTube. I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. This is my husband, Kenji.
Hey, hello.
And this is a very special video that we actually planned to make soon after we got back from our wedding in Canada in early August. But there was a bunch of stuff that happened and it just didn't happen. But we're making it happen today. And that is to thank our dear friend Peg, whose channel name is Peg the Book Prize Addict, for this gorgeous rainbow blanket that she gave us as a wedding present. She talked about it on her channel for months as she was making it, and she presented it to us. We had it displayed on the wedding banquet table. I'll put some pictures up of that. But even more than how much we love the blanket, we love Peg.
I love Peg.
Yeah. And I just want to talk about her in the sense that the highlight of my BookTube year was meeting and befriending Peg. So I really want to emphasize that. And so here we are. Why don't you go first? How was it? What was it like meeting Peg?
It was so lovely talking. And so I want to say to Peg, thank you for coming, wedding party, and nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And so I love this one.
We both use it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Can I put the picture up of you? I took you the other night.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I took a sweet picture of Kenji. I use it for a lot of my naps, and it's just so comfortable.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one. So anyway, so thank you for making this, and I want to see you again. So please come to Japan.
Yeah, please come
someday.
to Japan. I remember we had a rehearsal party, pre-rehearsal party, and Peg came, and that's the first time she got a chance to meet Kenji. And Peg was so wonderful in the way that she just sat down with you. You guys talked for about an hour.
I guess so, yeah.
And you could understand her, and she asked you a lot of questions. And
maybe we were talking about family, I guess.
She asked lots of really friendly questions and just made Kenji fall in love with her.
Yes,
so it was wonderful. Yes. So, and I just loved having Peg at my wedding. I had never met Peg before she came, but I consider her a dear, dear friend. And like I say, the highlight of all of my BookTube experiences in 2018 was meeting Peg, and I've never really expressed that on BookTube. And just last autumn, after we got back, I got really sick, and there was some stuff going on in both of our lives, and it never happened, and it's happening belatedly. But we love Peg.
We love Peg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
love so much. Love her so much.
So do you have anything else you want to say, or do you want to go play your video games?
You don't.
Do you want to talk about your recent books? Any books you've read recently or anything?
Maybe not. But I love Peg.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kenji, darling. So Kenji's gone back to his normal endeavors until it's time for dinner. And I just wanted to share a little bit more about Peg. You saw Peg if you were watching at that time. We did a Saskatoon bookstore crawl, and Peg and I had some wonderful moments that are captured on film. So that was great. We invited the guests from out of town out to my parents' farm in Saskatchewan 2 days after the wedding, and Peg was along for that ride. And one story that I have never shared on BookTube, but it's a quintessentially Sean story, and also now a quintessentially Sean and Peg story, which was that there were two vehicles that left Saskatoon to transport all of the out-of-town guests, especially there was about a dozen guests from Japan, out to my parents' farm, and that's about a 90-minute drive. And our family rented a van for the Japanese guests, but then my dear cousin Mary Jean had a vehicle, so Peg and I went with her. Or in fact, the plan was that I was going to ride in Mary Jean's vehicle with her and Peg for the first 30 minutes of this 90-minute trip, and we were going to meet at this small town called Vanscoy, I think, Vanscoy. And I would get back in the van and whatever, so I could socialize with all of the people. So I get in the car with Mary Jean and Peg, and we're blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it was one of the first chances Peg and I had to really talk. And, you know, Mary Jean and I can talk for 18 years without taking a breath. And it was just this marvelous conversation. The other thing that you have to know is, since I left Canada 10 years ago, the highway out of town towards my hometown from Saskatoon has radically changed. But I have ridden in my parents' vehicles from Saskatoon to the farm a half dozen or more times. I gave up my driver's license a few years, and I have never driven from Saskatoon to my parents' farm since all of the changes were made to that highway. So, driving out of town, we're driving out of the city, and I'm talking of books, and my life story, and everybody's life story, and blah, blah, blah. Having a great, one of the best conversations I had in 2018 was that conversation on the drive. And then I start looking around on the highway, and are we on the right? Because there's this place where there's one route to go, which is the route that the van was going with all the Japanese guests, including my new husband. And then there was another route. Both would get us there, but there was a new way where the highway diverged. And I'm looking at it, oh, I hope I didn't miss it. I think it's okay. And, looking for the next town. I said, well, if the next town is, I can't remember what it would be, but whatever, Alsace? No, not Alsace. But anyway, I see, I'm so stupid. But if it's this town, we're on the wrong highway. If it's Vanscoy, we're good. And it was the former. So I had gotten us lost. Going from the city where I came of age to the farm where I grew up, I got lost. 2 days after my wedding, at the age of 52, I got lost. But it was okay. We could still get to my parents' farm, but we weren't able to meet up with the van, with Kenji and all the other Japanese guests, and we all arrived separately. And Peg was along for that ride. She's been very diplomatic not to have told that story on her own channel, but I'm sharing it now because I have no shame. So, more seriously, Peg's channel, Peg the Book Prize Addict, is a channel that all of you should subscribe to. As the name suggests, she is addicted to literary book prizes, but more than that, she is just a unique and essential part of BookTube, and I love Peg like she's a member of my own family. I don't even think of her so much anymore as part of BookTube, but of course she is. I just think of her as my real life dear friend, and I want you all to go check out her channel and say hello. And that's what I wanted to say. It's several months late, but it's from the heart. Thanks for watching.